Hello, Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Just in, Northerners cry in pain as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Mazi Simon Ekpa vindicated. Here are the news in details. The Northern elders and Northern citizens, or should I say, Arewa citizens, are currently crying in pain for what is currently going on, not just in the northern part of the zoo, but in Sokoto in particular, as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister, have all been vindicated. So I will tell you how these two Biafran leaders have been vindicated. But before then, let us watch this very video in details. Don't go nowhere because we still have more in the kitchen.
The Lakurawa, they came in as a radical and violent group with quote and unquote their own Islamic teachings and also their own Islamic ideology. And the unfortunate thing is that they don't have a very good understanding of the religion. Neither do they have an understanding of what exactly they want to do. And the fact of the matter is, the locals will tell you, they preach religion, they preach their own ideology and their own teachings, but they seem not to even understand what they are actually into. And what do we see? We see people from different nationalities. They are mostly not Nigerians. They are from Niger, from Burkina Faso, from Benin, from Mali, and other parts of the Sahel. But the most interesting thing about it is that, again, they don't even understand the language of each other.
Now, the person who is speaking is from Sokoto himself. But there is something that wonders me. He said, the most interesting thing is that the people in question are not even from Nigeria. So, that brings me to this very question. Where are they from? And again, he said that they do not speak one language. They don't even understand themselves. So, where are they from? That is not even the question. Did they come to the zoo with a whole lot of money and purchase AK-47 from the zoo military? Pay attention, this is a very important question. Did they come to the zoo with a lot of money from all those Sahel countries and purchase AK-47 assault rifles from the zoo army? Or did they come with this AK-47 from all these countries that he mentioned, and then they cross the zoo borders and enter into the Northern Zoological Republic and start causing mayhem? Or did they arrive the zoo? After arriving the zoo, then this Fulani oligarchy that want to dip their whatever in Atlantic Ocean and then to Fulanize all of us, are they the ones that purchased this AK-47, gave it to them, and asked them to go into the villages and start terrorizing the innocent citizens? So these are the questions waiting and begging for answer from this very northern oligarchy. Let's continue.
That is very clear. And in some part of Sokoto, where they operate, in these local government areas that I'm going to mention, around Ilela, around Tangaza, Godu, Bale, Benji, Silami, down to some part of KB, particularly in Kangiwa, in Augi, and as we speak today, they are in some part of Argungu local government area. I think this is a threat, and a very fundamental threat, not only to Nigerian security, but to international security, and also it is an international threat. In my own opinion, the fight against these people requires a robust and elaborate operation. We don't actually need to engage in customized security operation in these places, because they have entrenched the communities, they have gotten the acceptance on the part of the communities. And what do we see? Traditional authorities, even yesterday I was relating with some of them, they said they have no option. You've seen people with military grade weapons. You wake up in the morning, you see them at night.
Did you hear that? You see people with military grade weapons. I want you to outline that word. This man confirmed that you wake up early in the morning and see people with military grade weapons. He said it's not me. Who gave them these military-grade weapons? Who gave it to them? Who gave it to them? If it's not the Zoo terrorist army, who gave it to them? I want you to follow, my people. Things are going on. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa have all been vindicated. I have not even spoken about that. That will come towards the end of this very broadcast. Let us continue.
You have no option other than to follow them. And that is what is actually going on in these rural areas. If you take, for instance, our local government, you find quite a number of the districts. Kwaido taken over by these people, Shafazane taken over. Most of these areas are actually under the control of this terrorist group. And they are, just like I said earlier, non-Nigerians. But the possibility of our local people supporting and joining them and accepting their ideology is actually on the increase. Because
now, this is not Boko Haram. He's not talking about Boko Haram. This is not Al-Qaeda in Maghreb. This is not ISIS in West Africa. This is not ISWAP. This is not Fulani bandits. This is not Mieti Allah. Neither is it Ansaru. Or maybe the lowest one, which is, what do you call this one? Hisba. We are talking about a brand new Fulani terrorist group in Sokoto State, wreaking havoc as I'm talking to you now. Let's continue.
They collect taxes, not only collect these taxes, when they impose the taxes, they collect these taxes in cash, and they will also direct you. We are in so location at so point. We want so amount to be submitted or to be given to us. And at the end of the day, you will be the one to take the money. To the extent that in Arugungu, in Augi, in some part of Kangiwa, and even part of Sokoto states, around Tangaza, around Gudu and Silami, they have established a network in which this network serve as their agents.
Did you get that? This man is mentioning the names of the areas that this new terror group has taken over, right? And the military is aware of it. The police is aware of it. In fact, I don't want to talk about that now. I will tell you something towards the end of the broadcast. Let's continue.
They impose levies on you, 10 heads of your cattle, they will say you pay 200 or 300,000. If you want to pay, we are in Jima Jimi, we are in Giragiri, we are in Raka, they will mention locations. And you see people submitting, collecting this money, paying to them directly. They even know where to see them. They have their agents, the motorcyclists, that actually take individuals to some of those places. So in my own opinion, it is a very serious threat beyond our imagination. And we really need a robust international collaboration. It's not just about the issue of Nigeria anymore. Rather, it is the issue of getting the support of international communities to deal with this particular threat. It is imminent, it is increasing, it is expanding, and rural communities are crying day in, day out about the activities of this group.
Let me now tell you something, my people. He's crying for international help. No international will come for your aid. No one. Because even the international is aware that your own government is the one sponsoring the terrorism. Yes, they know. So, I don't want to talk too much about what is going on in the north. I just want to remind us something. I want to start with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, then end it with Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told them, he said it, that we are going to draw the Janjaweed in Biafra land, and they will all join their ancestors while trying to stop us here in Biafra land. He said it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. And do you know how we are drawing them? Because we have the army and they want to stop our army, which can never happen. This is how we draw them into Biafra land, and they are all joining their ancestors in our land. Do you know why Mazi Simon Ekpa has been vindicated? Do you know why? I will tell you. Mazi Simon Ekpa has been vindicated because if Mazi Simon Ekpa is not doing what he's doing today, if he did not come after the kidnap and rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which the target was to remove him in order to get to all of us, because they saw him as the stumbling block, right? They wanted to remove him for forming the Eastern Security Network back then to to fight for his freedom, to stop the Janjaweed, to stop the Fulani terrorists from dipping their whatever in Atlantic Ocean. They tried to stop him. Now, Mazi Simon Ekpa came and he has become even worse than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was to them. Now, it is a big problem for them. Had it been that there was no Mazi Simon Ekpa after the kidnapping and rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, by now, and then they use the criminals that call themselves DOS members to destabilize ESN as they just did, what would have been your fate by now? Biafrans, what would have been your fate at this very point in time? Where they have already 7 terror groups in the northern part of the zoo, yet another new one, they call them Tangawiza or whatever they call them. Another new one, brand new, fresh from yard, has just, formed in Sokoto. Now, those 7 groups, the former ones, are not enough for them. They are still forming another one. In the same Northern Zoological Republic, what will happen if you don't have Biafra Liberation Army today, where they call Southeast, and Igbo, or Biafra land as a whole, would have been there for taking. It would have been there for taking. Biafra land, where you call Southeast or South, would have been there for taking. Biafrans, we are leaving the zone. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Simon Ekpa, these men have all been vindicated. Thank you, my people.